Welcome everybody to Too Legit to Crit, a tabletop role-playing podcast hosted by two guys who make a vicious mockery out of TTRPGs, podcasting, and, well, life.
Yeah, that's it's a pretty accurate description there. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Let me just cross off that intro, so I'll never use it again. Buried with the rest of them.
Oh, your intros, man. You put far too much work into those. It's depressing.
To be fair, it's the only thing I really put any work into.
I mean, valid point well made.
You know, I don't. Okay, well, there is the production side of things, but
yes, because I put zero effort into that.
Yeah, you do the video production, so
yeah, true.
Yeah, without you, we would not be streaming. So,
I'm clicking a button, but
no, but I mean, the way you click the button is
very few people can click a button like me.
Yeah,
it's it takes a lot of skill to click a mouse button the way I do.
I think it is pure technique and skill just to click that button. But my name is John Santana.
I am still Justin.
We kind of wandered off on that one for a bit, didn't we? We did. We ambled to that point.
We did. We tend to do that. We struggle with staying on topic. I have noticed. Yeah,
but I mean, I think that's what people come to expect now.
I mean, yeah, valid point. It's. I mean, we use this phrase a lot when we're just chatting, but that's pretty on brand for us.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. So, how have you been, my good friend?
Ill, as you can tell from all the coughing. The small gremlin-shaped human being that lives with me decided to give me a lovely bout of the flu, which decided to go straight to my chest and give me this beautiful voice, but unfortunately, a horrible cough. So other than that, though, I've been great.
Couch in the chat has just put, just staying on topic?
Oh, yeah. No.
Nah.
It's not something we do here. Yeah, it's not something we do here. If you want people to stay on topic, I would suggest you tune into a different podcast.
We're mavericks. We're renegades. We don't keep to topics. Where we're going, we don't need no topics.
Wow. Okay. We're going into the movie references nice and early, I see.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. What about yourself, though? How have you been? We got distracted on asking each other how we're doing, for God's sake.
We did. I am doing great. Had a very busy past few days.
Yes, we did.
With some social activities.
Yes.
Check me out.
Yeah.
I actually peopled.
Yeah. Couldn't even help me with character creation for something because he was out peopling.
I was peopling and I peopled successfully. I peopled successfully. It was a work Christmas do.
Unacceptable.
Nay, it was the second work Christmas do of the month.
How many work Christmas do's do you need?
Well, obviously two. Now, one of them was like the department-wide, and the one last week was my team.
Oh, okay. So
it was a lot more condensed, and to be honest, a much better time. Yeah. But I was still home by 11.
I'm not surprised.
Home by 11 going, fuck, that was exhausting.
I mean, yeah, but speaking of character creation, the character I was creating was for something very fun. So I was creating a Blades in the Dark character.
Yes, you were. And may I say, good character.
He was awesome. I loved him. This was one of the first times I've ever built a character with concept first and then looked at mechanics rather than building the mechanics and then gone, right, how can I build something around these? And honestly, it was so fun.
I've always found you get a better character doing it that way. You not only that, but you can identify with the character a lot more.
I wouldn't say a better character. I'd say maybe a richer character. Because I mean, better is a matter of opinion, right? Because to me, a better character is one that is more competent in whatever I want him to do. Whereas this character was not very competent at anything, mostly because of me, not so much the character. But
yeah, but isn't that a common thread that kind of goes
to all of my characters?
All your characters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the weak link in the chain of every character I've ever built. Yeah. But Blades in the Dark, I finally played some Blades in the Dark.
You did. You did.
And I tell you what, it is such a good system. It is so fun. Like just the way it flows really well. The group dynamic of it is awesome. And I mean the session itself was just fucking incredible. We're not going to go too much into what happened, obviously, because of reasons that we'll get into shortly. But it was so much fun, and the campaign you put together was incredible, and I loved every minute of it.
Thank you very much. I went back and forth on what I was going to do. And I did look up things that were pre-written, and because obviously we had, and it's no secret, we're not spoiling anything by saying it was a holiday theme. It was a Christmas theme one shot that we did with the amazing folks over at Crossing the Nerdverse.
Yeah,
they were just
they were just so fun.
Just a fucking delight to hang out with.
Amazing, man. Like, yeah, I think like it's hands down one of the best sessions I've had with people that I've not known beforehand. Like it was, I mean, the start, obviously we took a little while to kind of, for everyone to feel out where lines were and stuff like that. And once we all realized we didn't really have lines, and neither did they, everyone was like, fuck it, free for all. And we had so much fun.
Yeah, it's when you're playing with people you don't know, you've always got that obvious element of kind of stepping into the unknown, etc.
Yeah,
it becomes a bit more difficult normally when you're dealing with a group that's already established.
Yeah,
and you coming in as a player probably would feel it a lot more than I did coming in as the GM. However, they are so welcoming and so sort of, oh, you're playing, right, you're one of us sort of thing. And
honestly, it was like, it was something I was genuinely worried about being a player, because obviously you were DMing and I was playing, and I was the only player from our side. So it was kind of like me and them playing in your game. Yeah. But within like 5 seconds of being in that call with them, it wasn't me and them, it was just us.
And the personalities really gelled. You know, they are such an amazing group. I've been listening to them for a bit now, and you know, their episodes, if anyone's out there and wants something similar to what we do, but more on a much broader spectrum, on a much broader sort of
people that actually know what they're talking about.
They also know what they're talking about. That is a very important thing to.
That definitely came across when we were playing.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about. Especially
they were like, yeah. So we looked up the rules. I was like, I didn't. I was like, I have no clue what we're doing. I just built something that I thought would be funny.
Like, wait, you looked up rules?
There's rules to this game.
I'm there with the book kind of going.
But dude, honestly, it was so much fun. And I mean, getting to hang out with them by the end of it, we were in a call with them for, recorded stuff. It was close to 4 hours, but in total on the call, we were in there for like 5 or 6.
Because we jumped online, awesome, and you know, we had a lot to kind of discuss, a lot to kind of prepare before
get into it,
started playing.
and then we did also have that little break in the middle because it's a long time to sit at your desk. Let's be honest.
I really needed to be.
We all needed a little minute to stretch our leggies.
And it was perfect. It was just before the engagement roll as well. It's okay. Yeah. Now we're going to take a break. So it kind of nicely divided the game into two distinct parts.
So we had it was just awesome planning and then the actual job, and it was so good, dude. And I mean, I'm finding it so hard not to talk about stuff that happened because it was just so awesome. But I'm gonna refrain because I don't want to ruin the fun that we had for other people that are gonna watch it later. Because it was awesome, and some of the stuff that happened, I'm so upset I didn't see some of the stuff coming that I should have seen. It's some of the stuff as well. Like when it happened, I was like, how did I miss that?
Yeah, I mean, when this whole thing first came about, and I suggested to Eric from Crossing the Nerdverse about doing like a Blades in the Dark Christmas one shot, he was like, okay, so I need to find something. I need to find a score that'll work. So I did kind of look up a few things, and there is one, and it is, I can't remember who it's done by, but there is an actual heist based on Home Alone called Little Rat Bastard. And I was looking at it kind of going, yeah, this looks fun. This looks all right. This is kind of fun. But then I didn't want to kind of bring in, somebody else's. I wanted it to be something I wrote. I wanted it to be something, not only that, because I find that easier to run.
Yeah.
Rather than having somebody's work that I have to reference constantly. When it's something of mine, I've already got it up here.
Yeah, I think like doing it that way as well, it gives you that freedom that if we throw something out of left field, you don't have to worry about making something up on the fly, because if it does contradict something later, doesn't matter because you can just change it. But if you contradict something that's in a pre-written like adventure or whatever, it can sometimes ruin stuff later on down the line. And then obviously then you end up just off book the whole way through. Which is not, then what was the point, right?
No, yeah, I mean, I had an absolute blast. It was one of those that I finished because that was the second game I was running that day. I'd already run Kingmaker from like 12 till 5. Managed to get home, chill out for an hour, get online. Everybody gets online. That's when we start discussing. I think it was about 6 or 7 o'clock, something like that. We started recording. So it was my second game, and lots of coffee, lots of energy drink. I was, at one point I was actually, I had the old tremble. I think nerves were probably a part of that as well. But it just, by the time I'd finished it, I was so amped up. Yeah. Like there's no fucking way I'm sleeping. Sleep is going to evade me tonight. I'm not. Yeah. I like switched everything else, got into bed, and my mind is immediately going, what's next?
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but where we left things off, like, it's not the end of the story. Like, it's just not.
No. It's definitely not. It could have been. 100%. It could have been. Because, you don't know how these things are going to go. Yeah. But we had such a fun time that I think I was about 25 minutes in when I kind of thought, yep, no, I want to do this again. This
needs to happen. Yeah.
this needs to be I won't say a regular thing, but it has to reoccur. There has to be another.
Absolutely.
And so I got into bed last night and my mind's going, okay, what's going to happen next? And
What's
I've
next
already
for this band of misfits?
I've already started writing things down.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It is, yeah. I mean, not only that, the system is great because Blades in the Dark just lends itself to improv really well.
Yeah, and I think as well, like the way the group kind of formed. Again, I'm trying to say this without giving anything away, but like the way the kind of group dynamic was, it worked really well. Like everyone got their moment in the sun. There was no from where I was sitting, there was no character that didn't have a moment of doing something really cool. And even in like that final, like the final moment, like this is really hard to say without saying anything. Everyone played a part. Like there was nobody that was like left out of the big climax, and it was just really, really cool.
There was one part very early on which established a group dynamic.
Yes.
Really fucking well.
Yeah.
And I didn't intend the scene to be as prolonged and as sort of fleshed out. But when things started happening, I'm going to lean into this and we're going to kind of explore this space and see what comes from it. And it was just such a good fucking game.
It was, man. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to playing more Blades in the Dark, just in general, because that was so fun. My dice didn't treat me like shit for once. I mean, they did, but they also didn't. I rolled a couple of 6s on D6s, which for me is unheard of. I was very excited, which comes across in the recording. Because every time I rolled one, I was like...
Yeah, but and there was a period when one of the group was rolling nothing but 6s, and you were just rolling 1s, and it's like,
no, not a period. The whole game, he didn't have a single. I from memory, he didn't have a single roll that wasn't a 6.
He was rolling rocks.
He was on fire.
He was the anti-you.
He was the anti-me. Yeah, he was. He was the anti-me because, I mean, I think that one roll early on really kind of cemented to everyone that I was not talking shit when I said that I rolled like shit, because I rolled 4 dice and I rolled 1, 1, 1, 2. And I was like, nah. Welcome to me.
Now, so what do you think? Like, let's actually talk about. So we can't really talk about the
storyline as much.
We are hoping to put episode 1 of it, or part 1 of it, up on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So just editing to go, and once that's done, it'll be up.
Yep.
So let's talk about the system. Let's talk about Blades in the Dark. I loved it because I've played Blades in the Dark a couple of times previously. I've always had fun with it, but not as much as last night. Because last night it was right. We're gonna let things happen. We're gonna balls to the wall and let's go mad. Let's enjoy this, and we did. And so much so the whole homebrew that I am preparing, which I was gonna do. In the Cypher system is now going to be either Blades in the Dark or Forged in Darkness, or one of those related systems. Because it's so fun.
It is. It's so fun. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I've said many times that I struggle to enjoy new systems. And the ironic thing is, since we started this podcast, I found quite a few systems that I really enjoy playing now, other than 5e. Because obviously we found Fabula Ultima, which we're playing with, with Couch and that, which is a brilliant system. But this is so good. It's so dynamic. And it really is one of those systems where it's, oh, you want to do something? All right, well, tell me how. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, let's do that. And I love the loadout system, the way that works. Of you don't have to pre-plan what your loadout is. You kind of you choose what kind of loadout you're taking, obviously, whether it's a light, medium, or heavy load, right? Before you start, and then you can just check off, oh yeah, this is part of my loadout, and you have a certain number of items for that like weight of loadout, right? Because that, again, it gives that flexibility that I've always hated with other stuff that I've played, which is try to do this kind of thing where you've been like trying to do a heist or something, and you get to a point where like, oh, if only we had this. And it's because you didn't foresee that you might need it, so you didn't bring it, and then you end up with like 8 things in your backpack that you didn't need, and it's just it always feels a bit.
Heists are hard to do in other systems. I've tried it in Pathfinder. I've tried it in Pathfinder a couple of times. It's a hard thing to do because the person who facilitates everything is listening in on everything.
Yeah.
So, it has to come down to the GM kind of going, oh, no, you won't need that. And, kind of dictating what's going to happen. Or the player's trying to pull one over and it becomes very adversarial. At least with this and the sort of open nature of it, it gives you the impression of this group of people having meticulously planned every detail. And we didn't really explore the flashback mechanic too much, but that is what the flashbacks are.
I think we used it like once or twice. We used it, and it was pretty cool. I really like the group action mechanic. That was really cool. We used that a couple of times. That's an awesome mechanic. I really like that, because it gives whoever's leading the group a bit of risk, but you're more likely to succeed because you've got the entire group rolling for this particular thing, right? So that's like a really cool mechanic. I like that, and it's so fun.
What I like about the group mechanic is that everyone who fails causes stress to the leader. So it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, fortunately, I don't think I failed any of our group rolls yesterday.
No, you didn't. There wasn't too much stress on the leader.
No, but that was my big worry. It was like, yeah, we're going to do a group roll. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea.
There were some other mechanics that we didn't get to explore, and kind of thinking about it, I did have the opportunity. I was like, shit, I should have really kind of offered that as an option. But you live, you learn. Next time we're going to do it even better because we're going to know the rules better. And
I tell you what, though, those deals with the devil mechanics,
they make me so happy.
I could tell because every single time somebody was like, I'm thinking about taking one, you were like, really? It was like, and that's the thing, like, knowing you for as long as I have, the minute I saw that face, I was like, better fucking not. Dude, it's such a cool system, and like the way that you can like increase your chances of success by adding stress or deals with the devil, things like that to increase your chances of success is really cool, and I really like that as a mechanic as well, because especially for someone like me who rolls like shit, having the ability on something really, really important to like add a couple of dice to my pool is massive for me. And again, in last night's thing, one of the rolls that I had, if I hadn't have taken that extra dice, I would have failed the roll, because the die that I had that got me the success was the extra one I added.
Yeah, and like the mechanic that I now realize that we could have like introduced and used was the resistance roll. So if something bad happens to you, you can choose to resist it. And the way that works is you can resist it, but at a cost of 6 minus 1d6. Or 2d6, depending on the attribute that's used. If it's something physical, you'd use your physical attribute. If it's something mental, you'd use your mental. If you've only got 1 dot in that,
you're fucked.
It's 6 minus 1d6. Could be 6 minus 2d6 if you've got 2 dots. The resistance rolls is something that I kind of looked at later and went, fuck, we could have used that. But still, without that, it still ended up being an incredibly fun game. And we hope to get it out on Friday.
Yeah.
And, if you guys want to get to know the people that we were playing with, go check out Crossing the Nerdverse. Pause this, go watch.
Absolutely, yeah.
Go watch an episode of Crossing the Nerdverse. Meet them.
Fantastic group of people.
Great group of people.
Fantastic group of people.
I would like to get Clark and Couch on the show at the same time and let them just have an anime off.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah,
it was just hanging out with them and like just chatting and having a laugh, and it just felt so what's the word I'm looking for here? Natural. Like at no point did I feel like I was having to change who I was to fit a dynamic or anything like that. It was so free flowing, and like they came in and didn't try and because again, I mean they outnumbered us 4-1 player wise, right? I mean they did, and at no point did it feel like it was 4-1 player wise, because at every point, if there was something that my character or me could be doing, I was doing it, and there was no. It was just it was awesome. I had so much fun, and I can't wait to do more stuff with them, and absolutely like go and check them out. They're a fantastic group of people and so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. But while we're on the topic of systems,
yes,
some rather big news dropped this week. I kind of saw it happen in the moment, and I think my actual words on the Discord were "fuck me," because I got an email. I a while back signed up for notifications on BackerKit regarding MCDM, the Mac Oval RPG. So I was at work and just happened to check my emails on my phone. And this was about 2:15. I'd received the email at 5:00. So 10 minutes later, I went, it's, the backer kit's out. Let's check it out. Clicked on the link. It was already 250 grand deep.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I was watching it go up. It was just ticking over and ticking over and ticking over. I think now they must be in the millions.
They are comfortably, yes. They're at 2.858 million. So just shy of 3 million is where they're at now.
And how long left?
25 days.
25 days. So I'm guessing they could probably hit about 5 million.
Probably.
Because normally, like the last few days, there's another push. It's going to kind of plateau for a bit.
I think as well, because that's going to take them over to after the Christmas period, right? So people are going to have another payday between now and when this ends. And obviously, especially at the moment, right, a lot of people, their paycheck is going towards Christmas presents and the Christmas season and New Year's and all that sort of thing. Which means that New Year's payday, a lot more people are going to be able to go into this and throw money at it. And I mean, it looks awesome. And there's one bit in it that really appeals to me. Really appeals to me. Attacks and spells can't miss.
I was just about to say, I bet that appeals to you.
Because, as we all know, that's my weakest point in these kind of games, right? Is like, I'll build an awesome character and then I don't do anything in combat because I just miss every attack. So that bit is awesome for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because obviously you need to have some sort of stakes. It can't just be, yeah, you always hit. But it does kind of make sense. And here's why. In my homebrew campaign, and even in my Wednesday game, right, I've got more than one character who are full plate wearing paladins. All right. So obviously, armor class is through the roof. Right. However, if a trained combatant is not going to miss something that size, they're not going to. Now, they're not going to bypass the armor. They're not going to cause any injury, but they are not going to fucking miss. And I think that has become a problem with the vernacular that is used in our games where, okay, so I've got an AC of 28. I got a 27. You miss.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't miss.
You just don't damage.
You just don't damage.
Yeah.
In PF2E, it is.
Yeah.
There is a way around it where you can say, okay, so if you critically miss that target AC, then you do actually miss. Yeah. If it's within 10, you probably hit. You just don't do damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well, like, so other systems that I've seen and played, the way they've kind of dealt with that is your armor isn't so much a to avoid getting hit, it's damage soak. So if you've got an armor of, say, 6, right, whatever damage they deal gets reduced by 6, and then you take anything above that. So if they deal 5 damage to you, you've got an armor rating of 6. They don't deal damage to you because your armor absorbs the damage. And that's a really good way of dealing with it, because then armor still has a use and a function, right? Because it's going to reduce the incoming damage, which is what armor does, right? Because armor doesn't magically stop you getting hit. The point of armor is you get hit, but you can keep fighting because it doesn't hurt you as much.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of systems that kind of use that mechanic of armor is basically damage reduction. So I'm thinking in this MCDM thing, that's probably what they're going to do. You're going to roll your damage.
Essentially, that is what you do. So the way they've put it in the in the back kit and in the articles I read about it is you roll 2d6, add one of your attributes, so strength or dexterity or whatever the attributes are, and that's your damage. So you don't miss, or you will deal that amount of damage. And then I'm assuming, because otherwise it is just going to be a case of you roll damage until they fall over, or they roll damage until you fall over, which is not really that great. So I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of offset in there somewhere, but they don't outright state what it is here. That I can see anyway.
Well, I'll be able to tell you when my backer kit gets fulfilled. I did the PDF.
Fair enough.
Only because I'm going to get spanked for postage if I were to buy the physical copies, and I refuse. I think the 2 physical books are about $130. So I went for the PDFs because 2 books coming from America, I'm guessing $70.
It's going to cost you a fair bit. Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at, they've got some of the example pages up on the back of it as well. And one of those does have a creature on there, which is a necromancer. And there is a stat on here for a chance hit, which is 1d4 plus 5. So they might roll to mitigate some damage from that chance hit or something like that. I don't know, but I can't really see anything else that would mitigate damage, but it does have a lot of health, so maybe there isn't. I guess we'll have to wait and see when the books arrive, or when the books are downloaded.
This has the potential of being huge.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely,
Matt Colville is very highly regarded in the space.
Yeah.
However, I also think that there's the chance of it not landing as expected.
Yeah, I think that the issue that they might have, right, is especially with it doing almost 3 million in a very, very short period of time, right? It's obviously very hyped. And sometimes when things are this hyped, it can overhype them to a point where they then become a letdown because they don't live up to the hype that everyone's built up around it, which is my only concern with it. Because, I mean, like you say, Matt Colville, when I first started DMing, I watched loads of his videos and stuff like that on, running the game and stuff like that. It's an awesome series, and I definitely recommend checking it out, because as much as he will give you advice on what he does in certain situations, he also is very adamant about find your own way to do things, because because this is how I do it, or this is how, Matt Mercer does it, or whatever, that doesn't mean it's the way to do it, right? The way to do it is whatever works for your table. And that's kind of advice that I've lived by from the minute I heard it to now. He knows what he's talking about. And like you say, massively respected. But I'm just worried that it gets overhyped and then there's a letdown.
I think that's a definite concern. As well respected and highly respected as Matt Colville is, I don't think he has the pleasure of having the celebrity status that someone like Matt Mercer, or Griffin McElroy, or Brendan Lee Mulligan have, where these people have a fan base not only because of the work they do, but because of them themselves.
Yeah.
They could put out any product, regardless of quality, and it would sell.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with someone like Matt Colville, whose popularity stems from how well respected he is as a GM, I think his work is going to have to kind of stand on its own two legs.
Yeah. No, definitely, yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I hope it does, because like I say, if there's going to be a system where I don't have to roll to hit, I'm going to be a very, very happy boy. An unbelievably happy boy. Which is, again, one of the reasons that I love Blades in the Dark, because you don't have to roll for initiative and shit.
No, that I found incredibly refreshing with Blades in the Dark. Yeah, because
it's just, I'm going to do this. Cool.
As much as I love Pathfinder, the initiative and the combat, after a while it gets tiring.
It does.
It just gets to a point of, here we fucking go again. Roll for initiative, right? Okay, and let's start focusing on mechanics. Let's not focus on. Whereas Blades in the Dark is, right, how do you want to resolve this situation? What do you want to do?
Well, we had a prime example in the session we just had, right? And again, I'm not going to go into what happened, but we were presented with a situation, and before any of us could respond, someone resolved the situation. And there was none of that, like, we're in the midst of a conversation. Somebody says, "Oh, I'm going to do this." Okay, let's roll for initiative, and then it takes you out of that role playing scenario that you were in the middle of and throws you into a mechanic scenario. Whereas Blades, it was you're in the middle of a role playing scenario, and your role play just happens to be that you're going to do something combat related. cool, that resolved, it's done. Carry on with the role play.
Yeah.
And that was so cool to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's one of these systems that you see how many awards it's won and just kind of go, yeah, makes sense. With Fabula Ultima being another one, we
absolutely. I think as well, like, you see how many awards they win, and until you play them, you're like, really? And then you play them, you're like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm earmarking it for the long-term homebrew I'm going to run. Because I was at work the other day, again on my lunch break, looking at, like, I think it was Blades in the Dark and Cyberpunk, and then I came across one called Hack the Planet, which is essentially a Forged in the Dark Cyberpunk game. I was like, oh, yeah, that's it. It's done. Decision fucking made. Sold. So, yeah. There's definitely... It's awesome. Definitely some more. There's going to be a lot more Blades in the Dark conversations to be had in the future, I think. 100%.
I mean, like, the only other bit of news that I've got that I think is definitely worth us mentioning, and it's not strictly tabletop related, but it also is. So, Baldur's Gate 3, the D&D based video game that's been all the rage recently. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things from people that have. And by the looks of this, so we had some Game Awards, and by Game Awards, I mean the Game Awards, took place just the other day. Baldur's Gate was nominated for 8 awards. That's a pretty big achievement in itself, right? It won 6 of them. I mean, that's insane. One of those was Game of the Year. So a video game based on this hobby, essentially, right? Won Game of the Year in the video game world as well, which is just insane to me.
It annoys me that it's so fucking good. It does. It genuinely, I mean, it's one of these things that it can't be disputed. It is a good fucking game. I've not played it myself, but I've just read all the reviews and it's like, this is a good fucking game. It sucks that it's attached to that shitty company.
I mean, I've also watched a fair few people play it and stuff on streams and the odd YouTube video here and there as well. And it also, I don't know how they've managed to do it, but it's also somehow captured the mechanics of a TTRPG in a video game world, and it's not made it boring to play as a video game or like taken away from the mechanics of the game itself, which is, I think, a huge achievement to do, because to take that kind of like randomized like encounters and stuff like that and make them not seem slow paced, it's really hard to do. And yeah, they've done an amazing job.
No, they have, and again, it's not something I can dispute as much as I really, really want to. But fair play to them.
Yeah.
I guess more people are going to pick up the fucking ampersand bullshit. But anyway.
Well, it'll be their entry into this world, and then they'll discover fabulous things like Fabula Ultima and Blades of the Dark and the many other awesome systems that are out there once they've dipped their toe in the water. So it'll be awesome to have them.
So speaking of systems, stepping away from that conglomerate,
yes,
for a tiny bit, I once again put the call out to Threads, and just asked for people to kind of show us their projects, shows their creations, and I got a few hits, and there are some interesting ones. Okay. So first I want to direct your attention to, as soon as Trello loads, Level 1 Geek. All right. Level 1 Geek are a team of geeks who run a blog, YouTube channel, and podcast featuring tabletop role-playing game entertainment and educational content. Currently, our YouTube and podcast shows a playthrough of Stolen Fate, an adventure for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. There are many other one-shots and mini-series posted on our YouTube as well. Our blog includes quite a few articles to help new people get started in the magical hobby of tabletop role-playing games. Overall, it's our mission to help people learn and enjoy this hobby, no matter how experienced they are or not. So what I'm reading is they do what we do, just better.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a look at their website now, and they definitely do it better.
I know, right?
Wow. Like, I mean, just wow. But it's awesome. Like, looking at their blog and stuff as well, like they do, like they even have an article about like dice sets and stuff like that. Articles on character creation, like just loads of awesome stuff, man. And it really does, it gives you everything you would need. It's got a session 0 checklist. Honestly, they've got blogs here covering most of the stuff we've talked about in episodes in the past as well. How to handle disruptive D&D players, play a different system.
and guaranteed their advice
my own system now. Oh, it's going to be better than ours. Absolutely.
It's going to be better
than ours. Yeah. But yeah, it's awesome website. And honestly, the goal of trying to, educate and bring new people in is fantastic. So yeah, just awesome.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm now looking at the best D&D dice sets for 2023. Okay, so you've got the regular, you got special material, precision. They really do their research. Yeah, that's what we're missing, Justin. Research.
What?
Yeah, it's research. Is that
like searching again?
No, I was going to say it does not mean searching again.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, some of the dice that they're putting up on here are nice.
Look awesome. Oh, I like those. The Dice Envy.
I'm looking at the easy roller ones. There's a weird ampersand on there that I'm not massive keen on. Oh, fuck me, the Dice Envy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they're sexy.
Yeah.
Little Dragon Core. Q Workshop. We all know Q Workshop. Critic, Norse Foundry obviously are on there. Level Up Dice. Yeah, okay.
I mean, so I'm just going to show these the Dice Envy ones on the screen quickly, because we can do that now. They check are out beautiful.
Check out that production value, motherfuckers.
I mean, they are beautiful dice. Like, they are just stunningly gorgeous dice. But yeah, so I mean, absolutely go and check out Level 1 Geek. That's just awesome stuff that they're doing. The detail there as well. They absolutely know more than we do. Listen to them, because whatever advice they give, I haven't read all of it, but it's probably going to be more sound than anything we've told you, unless they're agreeing with what we've told you, in which case, great.
I really, really doubt they are.
Probably, but you never know. We occasionally stumble on the correct answer once in a while.
Once in a while.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That is, unless it's got no hands whatsoever, which I think is our brand. We're just a face full of them.
It's broken because it's like moving backwards, so it never actually at the right time. So it's just never the right time.
Yeah, just like the hands have fallen off. It's like a sundial in a cave.
Pointless.
Which again, our brand.
Yeah, it's pretty on point. Not gonna lie. But yeah, no, that's awesome, and yeah, definitely, trying to help and encourage people to get into this hobby it's what it's all about, right? I mean, we all play to have fun and stuff, but if we can bring more people into this space and into something that we all enjoy and love, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All
right, so the next person I kind of want to highlight, I must say there is a personal bias here because I've interacted with this person quite a bit on Threads, and I think she is absolutely fantastic. She is an artist. Her name is Atlas Ursa on Threads.
Yes.
You may recognize her as the person that sent you a Winnie the Pooh gift to make you feel better.
The person that sent me Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, cheers for that.
So if you kind of go to her link, there is a link to her Instagram, and you can just see some of her artwork. It is so fucking good.
It is. No, it is. It absolutely is. I mean, yeah, I've seen them interact on a lot of posts and stuff that we've put up as well. So I've been onto their page and stuff, and it's fantastic stuff. We were just talking about how we have this production value now. So why don't I use some of that and display? Yeah.
There we go. Boom.
This one, because this is awesome, and it has a wolf.
We like wolves. We do. We are big fans.
That is
of
awesome.
Wolves.
Like that is just so good. And yeah, just phenomenal stuff. But I mean, go and check out their artwork. It is incredible. There's character art in here. There's some landscape artwork as well. Just all kinds of stuff on there, and it's absolutely fantastic stuff. Also does commissions. So if you have a character that you want to get drawn, I can't fault the artwork. It looks fantastic, as you've just seen. So definitely worth a look.
And I've checked out the prices, and the commissions are definitely reasonable. There's don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're paying someone for a commission, you expect to pay money. But it's reasonable. It's a good amount. And if I were to, have a character in a longer campaign, potentially down the line for Edgar or something like that, absolutely. I'd get Atlas to do a portrait of him. But,
absolutely. And it's, art in particular is one of those things where you really do get what you pay for. And I mean, I've known so many artists over the years, and they've always blown me away because I do not have an artistic bone in my body. So when I see stuff like this, my brain can't comprehend how somebody could be this talented. So yeah, if you're not paying for the artwork, chances are you're going to get what you pay for. But here, it's not ludicrous. I would probably pay more than these prices, because I've just pulled them up on my screen. I would probably pay more than that for this level of art. So yeah, very reasonably priced.
But yeah, she has given us a bit of an introduction where she says that what started as a hobby of editing and drawing characters for her tabletop role-playing groups quickly turned into an attempt of a substantial job. It wasn't long after I got in touch with the Threads community that I realized what I wanted to build wasn't a source of income, but a source of community for tabletop role-playing gamers and artists alike. Launched my Patreon at the end of this year, as well as my Discord, because I wanted a place where gamers and artists could work together to breathe life into stories. It's still in its baby stages, and I only have the most basic bone structure down, but I am really working on getting feedback from others and having real, sometimes brutal conversations with people in the community about the need, want, and sometimes lack thereof art for the tabletop role-playing game community. It's expensive. It's not realistic with timing, and they don't get us started on the AI topic. System or form of communication where we can provide art for stories and stories for art. It's still in the dreaming stages, and we're working through a lot, but we're on the verge of maybe partnering with some exciting ideas down the line. Still working on the dents in the plan. Atlas, wish you all the best with that. I think Absolutely. It's a fantastic idea.
And I mean, for people like myself who are artistically challenged, having a community of people that are there to help bring what's in my head to reality is invaluable. I cannot explain enough how people like myself need people like that. Because I am really good at getting a concept up here, but I really struggle getting it anywhere else. And having people that I can be like, so this is my idea, and they can go, oh, what, this? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, last night I actually wrote the word devil's bargain on a piece of paper, and nobody could fucking read it. So that is
that's because of your blur. It was your blur that we couldn't read it.
Well, I like to think it's because I'm shit at drawing. I can't even write good. But yeah, check out Atlas. Check out Atlas Ursa on Threads. Yeah. Phenomenal person with a phenomenal body of work. Go.
Yes.
Don't miss out on that. So the next thing, we've got Pathwalker 1. Pathwalker 1 is a tabletop role-playing game that allows players to explore any genre, setting, and story they can imagine. It uses a simple rules-light system that focuses on player creativity and narrative. Whether you want to play as a space pirate, fuck yes, a medieval knight, a cyberpunk hacker, or anything else, Pathwalker 1 gives you the tools to play your adventures your way. And the actual core rules, completely free on the website. So, yeah.
They've also done adventures in the Wild West, in space, and the House of Solomon.
That looks
very interesting.
That looks very me, the House of Solomon.
It does. That looks you to a T.
I don't know. I thought it was a bit more horror, but it might not be.
No, it's precipice of war. So there's a lot of tensions and danger lurking. Oh, wait, no, hang on. Here we go. And a world ender lurking just out of sight. That's you.
That's
you love
me.
A world ender lurking just out of sight.
I love a lurking world ender.
Yep. That's the title of your autobiography.
That's the title of this episode, motherfucker.
Love it. But yeah, no, it looks awesome. And, the fact that the core rules are free, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like it. It's looking good.
It seems to be super flexible.
I'm just going to have a quick look at the dice roll. Let's have a look at that, shall we?
I'd rather not.
Any action our player or wayfinder wishes to make is determined by the roll of a 6-sided die. Each character is assigned a numerical trait score, which determines the number of dice they can roll when attempting to overcome an obstacle. The number cannot exceed 20 for any trait. To succeed, at least one die must show a 6, similar to Blades in the Dark.
Yep.
Conversely, any roll that does not show at least a 6 counts as a failure. That's a bit more like Vesson then.
Yeah.
That's a bit more. I think Vesson's like that, where it has to land on a 6. If not, it's a fail.
Yeah.
So that's why
you have a pool of up to 20.
Yeah. So you roll in a shitload of die. Which,
shitload of dice in the hopes you get a 6. Yeah. It's another way of doing it.
And it's a very satisfying way of doing it.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We all love to roll the clicky clacks.
Yeah.
Rolling
click
clack rocks is good fun.
Yeah, it looks definitely really interesting.
It does, yeah. I think I might have to give that a little download because I've been wanting to put together some kind of Wild West type game, and if they've got a Wild West game already, I mean, I've said it quite a few times in episodes, and they've got a Wild West adventure here for $15. So I might have to give that a cheeky purchase and download, and then maybe we have another fun time playing some games with some people.
I don't want to twist your arm right now, Justin, but I'm just on Drive-Thru RPG, and the Withers West is $9.99.
Oh, gonna
add to cart.
I've got to log in. I'll do that in a bit.
Not me spending money today.
Well, I've already done all my Christmas shopping, so any money I have now is currently spare money. So I can spend
spare money is free money. Spare money is free money.
That's quite how it works.
100%. That's how it works. Spare money is free money.
But no, that looks awesome. So I will be purchasing that after recording, and I might talk about it next episode unless I'm planning to run a few, in which case I won't tell you shit.
Yeah, but you can tell me about the system.
Find out.
Give me an idea.
You'll find out. You'll find out. Same way I found out about Blades in the Dark, by playing it.
Yeah, fair play. All right. Okay. So next one, we are going to Neon Shadows.
Ooh.
This is right up your fucking street.
Yeah. I mean, I read the first line and I was like, yes.
It's a GM-less RPG that takes place in a city built to allow the land to heal after a large-scale war. It's powered by ether tech, and while intentions behind building the city were good, it quickly fell into districts separated by walls to keep those closer to the top safest. It offers 9 playbooks, all inspired by the 9 Enneagrams and a player-led world building. Powered by a new system called Dice, players use cards to interact with one another and the world around them through different actions
The system is called Dice, and it uses cards. Now, I both love that, but it also hurts my brain.
There is a reason, because DICE is an acronym, which I'm trying to find now, okay?
Right, okay.
That DICE is an acronym. It's the Deck of Influences, Consequences, and Expression System.
Okay, got you. That makes sense.
Is a system inspired by the belonging outside belonging system that combines token pool and play mechanics that uses a standard 52 count deck of playing cards.
Lovely.
Optionally including the Jokers for a total of 54 cards, with 3 suits used as an expression of the will of the player when it comes to solving a problem. Hearts for emotion, diamonds for intellect, and clubs for physical. Spade cards are the expression of fate in the world, allowing for a diverting narrative and adding stakes to the current situation.
I love that. That's awesome. Like utilizing the suits and stuff as well to point them in different paths. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
All right. So there is an itch development page that we can go and have a look at. And Shadows pre-orders are now live for a special price. And that special price for pre-order is $15.
That's not bad.
And there is a demo.
Not bad.
Yep, there's a demo to download as well.
This looks really good.
I knew you'd like it because it's cards.
Really good. It's cards, yeah, no dice. And we all know how I feel about dice.
It's cardses. You like your cardses.
I do like my cardses. I might have to download one of the demos, voiced, and give it a little try. Because it does look awesome though, and I am very interested because it is cards and not dice. Although it is technically still dice. It'll be a dice game that I enjoy playing.
Yes. All right. Okay, so I've got one more, one quick one. All right. This is Beads and Fiends. Beads and Fiends sent to us courtesy of Heather Rohde. I developed a rules-light TTRPG that revolves around making friendship bracelets with your friends. It's light-hearted and silly. The idea is you are a cryptid that wants to make a human summer camp. You do human summer camp activities. How do these activities go wrong? It's not fully developed out, but it's something. And there is a website which we're going to just take a look at now.
I love that.
So you get to embrace the wacky side of tabletop role-playing games. Join the adventure as a cryptid going to a human camp in this rules-like tabletop role-playing game. All right, I think this is definitely worth a deeper look.
Yeah, It looks really fun. I'm just having a look at the website now myself.
Oh, you actually use beads for the game?
Yeah, you actually. So I'm gonna put this up on screen as well for everyone else. But you actually are building out these bead, like these bracelets. So what you need for the game, you need beads. Could be plastic ones meant for kids or fancier ones if you want. There's even like if you're playing with someone that's colorblind, because that is a thing, right? Get ones with different shapes and textures and stuff like that, which is a really, really good thing to do, because some people that would kill the game for them, right? If they can't see the different stuff, right? So definitely worth doing. Paper, pencils, and scissors, and then there's even a link to like a kit for building these bracelets and stuff, which obviously you would use to do this. So that's pretty cool. So this is just the system, and they're currently working on a one shot for it as well. But it seems really fun. It definitely is one of those things that like, for, you know, like wrapping up, if you've had some time at a convention with friends and stuff like that, you want to wrap it up at the end and have something for everybody to take home. This would do it, right? Yeah,
I do like the fact that, I mean,
yeah.
It is name your own price, and you can find it at Frogging Around. That's PHROGGING around.itch.io, and it is name your own price. I always say if it's name your own price, chuck some money in there.
Yeah,
don't do a zero.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that person.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah. Someone's worked hard on this. They deserve something. You know, if you can,
it looks awesome.
If you can afford a couple of quid, chuck it. I mean, you're going to spend
something.
You're going to spend £4 on a fucking Starbucks.
I just thought as well that would be a really fun one to do with kids, because you get the kids actually making the beads and stuff as well, but also throwing in all the wacky stuff that happens. That'll be a really fun one to do with your kids and stuff. But yeah, that's awesome. I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so do check that out. I mean, thanks to everyone who sent in some suggestions for us to cover. Just carry on sending them in. We love to see this shit. We love to see what the community is working on, because, you know, we want the community to grow.
Yeah.
So the more we get, the more we can cover.
We don't. Couch is a good guy. Couch just put in the chat. Pay what you want. There's always a minimum of £5 for him. Couch is a good guy.
Be like Couch.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty sound advice for most like things. Just be like Couch. What would Couch do?
If you are on a pay what you want, what would Couch do?
Yeah,
£5. Fucking go, £5. Again, you're gonna spend more than that at Costa.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Costa shit.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It is. It really is. But yeah, so yeah, guys, send in more stuff. We love to cover this. It's a community that we want to grow with, and we can only do that by kind of helping each other out. So, all right. Speaking of the man, the myth, the legend, should we take a wander over to the couch?
I think we should.
All right. I have 2 questions.
I have one.
You have one.
Just the one.
It's a bit, you know, scarce on the question front.
Well, I think Couch of Sci-Fi, after their jokes last week about starting their own podcast with just questions, they're saving all the good questions for themselves. Yeah.
It may not have been a joke. You know, I'd be like, haha, yeah, we're going to make our own podcast. Sci-Fi, message me now.
But yeah, so I do have one question. You've got 2. So do you want to go first, and then I'll go, and then you can wrap up?
Fuck no,
roll for initiative again?
I want to roll for initiative.
Oh, I don't have a D20 near me.
I can roll.
To the other side of the room. Go on,
I can roll for the both of us.
Because I've only got D6s next to me because I needed them for last night.
I'm not getting the cryptic crits ones out.
No, you're saving those.
They're far away at the moment.
He's saving those for special occasions.
All right, purple's mine, as always.
Yeah.
I got you this nice sort of reddish pink.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
And I'm showing the 20 because that is the only time you're going to see it
again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's do this. All right, rolling for initiative. Oh, one off the table. Oh, it's close. It's close. It's close. Very close.
What did I roll?
You rolled a 17.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But you rolled like an 18, right?
I rolled an 18.
I knew it. Jesus Christ. I can't win.
It was close, though. Jesus.
Yeah, but I still lost.
Your 17 came up and I went, fuck, I'm going to lose to Justin again.
And if Ricky Bobby taught us anything, if you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. All right. So I win, so I'm going to go first.
Yep.
As soon as Jotphone decides to load. Okay, so the first question, again, Jotphone loading. Fucking hell. Right, okay. So the first question from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Couch.
Let's go. What's he got for us?
He's writing to us from Buried Alive. There's a question mark in there.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Do you think all those questions he didn't send us?
What would Couch do? Anyway.
Yeah, that's the question.
What would Couch do?
What would Couch do?
Send us questions.
Yeah, that's what Couch would do. Send us more questions.
All right. So, do you think there are any underrepresented monster classes in the systems we play? For example, I always thought, despite all the cool rules and abilities, elementals have never really been fully explored in adventures written by any of the key players. So I'm assuming we're focusing on D&D and Pathfinder.
Yeah.
To answer Couch's question, in Pathfinder 2nd edition, elementals got a lot more fleshed out. Even more so since Rage of Elements came out. Fucking take a look at that book. It's amazing. But anyway.
I mean, I would agree that in D&D in particular, elementals are very sort of ignored. There is basically just the 4 elementals and that's it. There's not really much else. So yeah, they are definitely underrepresented, and I would love it if there was a lot more to them because they are a really cool concept that I think it would be a lot of fun to explore. There are, I feel like there's more that could be done in general with a lot of the really common things that we see, like kobolds. They kind of get ignored a lot because they're seen as like throwaway monsters. Same sort of thing with goblins. They're kind of the things that people throw in just to inconvenience the party, like for a midnight raid or stuff like that. So I feel like a lot more can be done with them. That just isn't. Because I've said this before, and I feel like a lot of people don't utilize them the way they should be utilized. Which would make them actually quite a formidable opponent if you did. But also just building out those cultures and stuff like that. Like there was that one goblin campaign that we played in Pathfinder way back when. I don't know if you played that one, John. But Couch ran it. It was we are goblins or we be goblins, something like that.
I have run it, but for a different group. But yeah, we are goblins.
I love that because like the entirety of it took place in that goblin like space, and that was really cool. So doing stuff like that for like kobolds and some of the other underappreciated creatures would be a lot of fun, I think.
Well, I mean, everything you've said has already been done. In Pathfinder.
Then.
Yeah, and you even brought it up yourself. Yeah, we be goblins in Pathfinder. There's like 5 of them.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. That was so much fun.
There's also like like kobolds and goblins in Pathfinder are now no longer creature classes. There are player classes, there are player ancestries and stuff like that, and they have really fleshed out those sort of cultures, and it's really interesting. And one of the most fun Pathfinder society scenarios that I played, this is a bit of a tangent, was one called True Dragons of Absalom. It was a special that could only be run by certain sort of tier GMs, but basically you were playing as kobolds who get hired by the Pathfinder Society. And it was just all tongue in cheek, and it was fucking phenomenal. Like because it was all pre-gens, and my character basically had a list of all his enemies in his inventory, and underneath it said, they know what they've done.
That's such a you thing, though, as well.
And there's a part of the adventure where you are in this place and you are going to get attacked. And the question is, kobolds are known for one thing. What is it? And my answer to the table was, we're going to Home Alone the shit out of this place. And there is a mechanic where it's like, okay, you've got so many trap points, spend them wisely. And it was fucking phenomenal. In terms of Couch's actual question, though, again, tangents. I'm trying to think again, because, Pathfinder, the new edition has at least leaned very heavily, and I'm assuming D&D 1 will do it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a lot of stuff that I just haven't seen in newer books, because I have missed a few books as well in the recent year or so. We've had a few books come out that I've missed.
I mean, for me, and this isn't necessarily much of a complaint, because I think these sort of creatures can get fleshed out in other systems doing this sort of genre better. But I think, at least in Pathfinder, the sort of Lovecraftian existential horror type creatures, they're there, but they don't carry the same weight as they do in Call of Cthulhu, Delta Green. So I think they could be better, but at the same time, if I want to play Lovecraftian, I'd play Delta Green. So
yeah. Now, well, hopefully that answers that one for you, Couch. I think that's as close as we're going to get to an answer.
No, I think it was a valid answer. I think.
Oh no, it was. Yeah. No, absolutely. I think it's it's definitely that there are quite a few underrepresented. Wow, that was really hard for me to say for some reason. I feel like the guy in Bruce Almighty,
Steve Carell.
The when he's doing that newscast. And I just realized I gave you a soundbite. Great. Right. Anyway, moving on.
New episode title: Justin Almighty.
Couch Almighty.
Couch Almighty. What would
Couch do?
All right. So what we've got, we had Lurking
World Ender.
Lurking World Ender. Then we had What Would Couch Do? And now we've got Justin Almighty.
Almighty.
Answers in the chat. What should be our episode title?
What should be the title this week? God. Well, while they're doing that, I'll come on with the next question, shall I?
Yeah, go for it.
So mine is from Sci-Fi, who is currently watching a Christmas movie. And in that same vein, ask the question, what films do you get the most inspiration from for your games? Now, based on events that happened recently, that's a very long list for you.
I can't answer that question right now.
In 2 weeks' time, you'll have your answer.
In 2 weeks' time, you'll have your answers, but I can kind of think of
lots.
Honest movies. I'm just trying to think. I haven't really used movies. Again, There are exceptions to that rule, but in general, unless I'm trying to make something really obvious, something really obvious that some people don't get, but anyway, obvious.
So upset.
unless I'm trying to be very sort of tongue in cheek, I don't tend to use movies because the chances are that players will have seen them. Unless something like really obscure. And I think, like, case in point, the first iteration of this homebrew world I'm doing, this cyberpunk city, the actual player stories, the players sort of present situation is going to be based on a series of Hong Kong movies called The Young and Dangerous. Okay. And it is about a group of kids who start out in the triad. And they kind of grow up in the triad and they become more prominent figures to eventually become triad leaders. And that is why Blades in the fucking Dark is going to work so well.
Yeah. No, absolutely,
So, I think that is going to...
I get what you mean, because obviously if you use any mainstream film, it's going to be very quick for people to connect the dots, you would think. I'm going to add that you would think, because we just recorded 4 hours of me not connecting the fucking dots on a bunch of movie references. But yeah, I think like there are times where I have maybe used stuff from films, but I will try and borrow from films that aren't in any way related to what I'm building. So, for example, there was I think it was a Asterix and Obelix film when I was a kid. I can't even remember anything else about it. I just remember at one point they were presented with 3 riddles. Now I've used those riddles in countless things since, because it's those kind of riddles where you give an answer that is technically correct, but it's not the answer I want. And it's those misleading kind of things that I really like, because people are like a bit like we had in that door in Couch's Fabula campaign the other week, where we're like, well, the answer to the thing written on the wall is this, and then we all got shocked. It was like, well, okay, that was wrong. So it's that, like, giving them the it's giving them that like that point in this is probably the answer, and when they give it, you're like, no. I really like that, so I try and find like those kind of goofy solutions in films, or any kind of like. Honestly, I think I borrow mostly from video games. That's probably where I get a lot of my stuff from, because I did play a lot of like puzzle based games, so stuff like Uncharted. There's a lot of things about, where you're solving a puzzle to get a door open, so borrowing those mechanics of, okay, well, if they push this over here, and so I would say I probably borrow more from video games than films, but I will sometimes take like funny things that happen in a film and throw it in there for a laugh or whatever.
I've used video games. I'll use like very specific parts of video games. There was one thing I did recently where there was a serial killer in a city, and it was because she was like a scorned lover who would kidnap and murder people with exceptional abilities, and she would remove those abilities and kind of attach them to herself. Like there was a runner whose legs she stole, etc., etc. And where I got that from was Nier Automata. Nier Automata, you face this robot which is just an amalgamation of like all these different robots, but as a side quest you kind of figure out why this robot was the way she was, and it was because of that. She was trying to make herself beautiful for the object of her desire, so she would just modify herself, and that's one of the things I did. Another prominent one I did was I got it from a song, and it's Over the Hills and Far Away. Originally Gary Moore, and Nightwish did a copy of it and did a version of it. And it is essentially someone who gets accused of murder. He's innocent, but he can't claim innocence because he was with the wife of his best friend. And that old
chestnut.
That old chestnut. So I did a whole arc based on that. So I don't use movies. I will use things that
other references.
Get my attention. Yeah.
Also, Couch did make a recommendation in the chat for a title for the episode. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
He's surprised we aren't going to name it. What would Couch do? Use Saran wrap.
Fair. We can always dig at that little chestnut.
I feel like that might be too much of an inside joke.
Yeah, I mean, Lurking World Ender's good. I like Lurking World Ender.
Yeah.
We'll give it some thought, but
what
would Couch do is another good one. I do like that.
Oh, right. I believe you have one more.
I have one more question. And this question, as soon as I bring up the right thing, because I'm not on the right thing because I'm an idiot. Okay. This question comes to us from Chris, who has not put a location. Let's think of a location for Chris.
I was going to say, in a way, that's even more intimidating because that means he's everywhere and nowhere.
Everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Terrifying.
All right. So Chris asks, what would be the worst thing to discover was a mimic?
Ooh, I like it.
Flashlight.
Okay. I mean, that's up there. That's absolutely up there.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen this, but there is actually adventure paths and stuff where entire cities are mimics. So basically, it's when so many mimics get together, they actually form an entire city, and the entire city becomes one big mimic. That would be pretty terrifying. Because, like, you're out adventuring. Oh, there's a city. We can go resupply. You walk in. Nope. That'd be pretty scary.
I mean, yeah, scary. I will agree with that. But I'm thinking more on a smaller scale. I'm thinking like just something where it'd be like, oh, fuck mimic.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be the equivalent of like finding a spider in your shoe or something like that. Like
shoes.
Mimic shoes.
Yeah, because never mind the spider in the shoe biting you. Your shoe's gonna bite you.
Yeah, that is true.
Gloves would also suck.
I think we can cover all wearables at this point.
Yeah, all wearables. Yeah,
anything wearable.
Particularly helmet. Helmet would really suck. Put that on your head and then just. What
about like your phone?
Well, I suppose like that would only be bad if you like put it up to your ear, right? Because if you don't do that.
So using a phone for what its original purpose was, essentially.
Which nobody does these days.
I'm old school. I still make telephonic calls.
Oh, what about like a keyboard? Like you go to sit down at the desk at work, start typing, and then suddenly your fingers are gone. That would suck.
I mean, obviously you've got the whole element of like the gore fest. It's a keyboard. It's going to bite. I'm kind of thinking of it more the inconvenience of like wanting to, like, you know, I've got a toaster. I want to make toast in the morning. Just turns out to be a fucking mimic.
Keeps eating your toast.
You absolute cunt. And there's back in again.
Stop eating bread.
Stop eating my fucking bread and just cook the damn thing already. But for fuck's sake.
Or like your diary. Every time you go to write in your diary, at the end of the day, it eats your pen while you're writing.
God damn it! And again, how about a parachute?
Oh, Couch has put some good ones in the chat. Couch says the toilet.
The front door to a house. I've actually done that
Front
before.
door, yeah. I think we've all done a door. The old door mimic. The damsel in distress as a mimic. I've actually seen there's a meme going around of that. I don't know if you've seen it, where there's like a chest. Yeah. And then next to it, there's like a tied up princess. And then like when the adventurer goes to open the chest, the princess like, no, don't. It's a mimic. And then when the guy goes over, he goes, oh, okay. Goes to rescue the princess. She's the mimic as well and eats him. And then the other mimic's like, can you stop doing that? I'm hungry.
I mean, to be honest, it must be a sad life being a mimic.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just a mimic, you're sat in a dungeon. It's like, well, I'm a chest.
Well, they can turn into other objects. They don't have to be a chest.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a barrel for a bit.
Wait, no, the torch. So like the torch at the entrance to the dungeon. So like you go to grab it off the wall. Oh, I need to write that one down.
Yeah, but it doesn't reveal itself
till later.
Till later, they carry it all around the dungeon. It's like, just enjoying the sort of the talk.
Part of the group.
I've got friends.
I'm gonna eat them in a minute, but I've got friends for now. Yeah, that would be a good one. What other things would just be like inconvenient? Because I kind of like that. I like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. We could always kind of go Flintstones and just say, "What if our bin was a mimic?" They'd be like, "There you go." Yeah. Yeah.
No waste.
I mean, essentially, yeah, garbage disposal. It'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean,
just scrape your plate off into a mimic.
Like, open up, Frank. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That's some paper cool. Just in. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
That'd be a good use for a mimic, I think.
How about? I'm just kind of looking around my room now.
Yeah.
What could be a cool mimic? How about a "Make America Great Again" hat, because fuck them.
That would be an amazing mimic. What else would suck?
Couch just put curtains in the chat.
Oh, that'd be a good one, actually. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, if it was anything like any electronics that connected to the internet, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
I spend far too much time in front of screens.
Screen. A tablet.
What would a mimic do if it kind of like accidentally just panicked and went, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a kettle"? Does it then have to pretend to boil water?
Just starts whistling. It just sits there for a bit and then just starts going. Oh god, that'd be brilliant.
That'd be, you know.
Oh, what about like a trap door? Right, so you get into like the king's like room, right, the throne room or whatever, and like there's a trap door under the throne, and you open it up, and the trap door's a mimic. The king's just been sitting on a mimic for the last like 18 years.
Yeah, or just behind a trap door. So somebody goes and jumps over the trap door right into a mimic's mouth. They're like, "Oh, you absolute prick!
You fuck!" Oh, yeah, good one.
Yeah, I think we came up with some good ones.
Yeah, I think Oh god, I could do that for hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck it, why don't we?
Next week's topic sorted. Mimics. What would suck?
And failing that, next week we have a guest on.
Yes, we do.
We have Tabletop Tail Spinners, who we kind of spoke about last week briefly.
Yep.
They're going to come on and they're going to talk to us about the podcast that they do. I'm really interested in the improv one. Yes,
because that is awesome. I mean, improv is just such an impressive skill in general. You know, Well, I mean, you guys have heard me and seen me stumble over trying to think of what to say next far too often. And to be able to, on the fly, just have something is, it's so impressive.
So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. We're going to kind of start reminding people soon about it in the chat. Any sort of questions that you have for either us or for them, by all means, just send them to us. Any sort of projects or creations you want us to kind of take a look at, we're always happy to hear more about them. But other than that, I just want to say a big thank you to Couch, Chris, and Sci-Fi for sending in some fantastic questions. Again, if you want to get in on this, you want to give us something to do, send us in some questions. You know, we love to hear from you. I want to also thank you, Justin, for spending some time with me this evening. Do you want to tell people whereabouts they can find you on the web? That's providing you don't die in the meantime.
In the next 5 seconds. So you can find me in most places at Justin Accurate TV. And I do occasionally stream video games over on YouTube now. I don't do it on Twitch anymore. I've abandoned Twitch for streaming. I don't stream over there anymore. But yeah.
As for me, you can find me at Natural Juan at dice.camp along the Mastodons. You can catch up with everything we do at toolegit2crit.uk. You can interact with us at toolegit2crit on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube. We also have a Facebook group, which is toolegit2crit. Come along, talk to us, tell us what you think, good or bad. We're happy for the criticism as well. But if you do like what we do and you want to see more, give us a like, give us a rating, subscribe, tell your friends about us, because we love this community that we've kind of accidentally fallen into. And we want to kind of see it grow, and we want to grow with it. But most importantly of all, thank you to everyone who has taken the time out of their busy days to listen to two idiots waffle on about tabletop role-playing games. Thank you very much. Good night.
See you later, folks.